Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, hump day, and welcome to another episode of Day in the Life of Vintage Classic Specialist. So, super busy day at the shop today. Rafa and I are both here. Some people stopping by, some people that we work with helping us out, just all kinds of things going on here. So, let me get started with this one here, the beautiful 63 Mouse Gray, which is one of my favorite VW colors. I just love Volkswagen's grays. This one and Pearl Gray, like my split window. I think two of VW's best colors. Anyway, this one, Rafa yesterday had put on and I think I mentioned this, he had put on the door windows here, and there was some pretty big issues with this door. It was, I think I went into detail, so I'll go kind of light today, but the metal frame of the door was pretty much hitting the B pillar. Like when you try to close it, it wouldn't close. So the whole door was pretty much too far that way and sitting too high. And the dog leg, which is a sort of, dog leg shaped piece down here, it was interfering or close to interfering. So there wasn't really a lot of room to move things around. However, our body guy that we use, who does pretty much all of our body work and our paint for that matter. So this dude is super magic. He's been working on these things, Volkswagens, forever. Knows all the little tricks, where to push, etc. And he got this door closing really good. Rafa was kind of helping him out because some of it is a two-person job. But it's still a little tight along the top, but it's very even. And it closes pretty nice now. Whereas before, it wouldn't even close. And so you do have to give it a little bit of a hard close. Maybe not quite that hard, but closes really nice. And so, lots of, he brought his porta power on, which is basically like essentially like a long jack. And he was pushing on the hinges, and they were loosening the hinges. I don't know if they ended up putting any shim. Sometimes you have to shim the hinges. I wasn't watching them very closely, but I know they were there with the porta power and pushing and loosening and kind of jogging this door around, and got it closing really good now. So the other thing that Rafa did was to put in the seals, and these seals are pretty much always too fat. And by too fat, I mean in this direction. Like if you just install them how they come, they're out to here. There's no way in hell you can close these doors with these seals in. So we pretty much always, in fact, I don't even think it's a matter of pretty much always trim these seals down in sort of this direction. So they're kind of barely sticking past the body right here. And so, lots of time going into that, basically trimming, test fitting the seal to get it in and allow the door to close. So that was kind of happening in conjunction with, shoving on hinges and stuff like that. And now, there you go. That wasn't even that hard. Boom, closed. So the other one that we noticed that was having an issue was the cargo doors here. And they were actually touching along here when you would go to close them. And the gap is still pretty tight. However, you can tell there is actually a gap there now, which there wasn't. These were just literally slamming into each other. So a big improvement there. And then I think he also put these seals on today. I would have to go back through my notes, but I'm pretty sure he also did these seals today on the cargo doors. And of course, they also have to be trimmed down to where they're just a little bit thicker than the depth of the channel in the body here where they go. So it's, you think you just put some seals in and press them in the grooves and you're done. Not so fast. So lots of work gone into just putting seals in. But at the end of the day, door closes good. The gap isn't totally even, a little bit bigger there at the bottom than at the top, but not really a hell of a lot you can do with that. The gap is very even here and here, so not really a heck of a lot you can do, but I don't think it's really noticeable anyway, unless somebody's sort of looking for that sort of thing. But sometimes that's all you can do. Part of the issue is that a lot of times when the body work and stuff is done on these, when they're going for paint and body, is a lot of the work often is done with the car sitting on dollies of some sort. And when the car's on dollies, the chassis can kind of sit differently than it does when it's on its wheels and tires. And so by that, what I mean is the chassis may be twisted a little bit because the dollies, usually they've got just hard caster wheels on them. And the floor that the car is sitting on is not necessarily real flat and so on. So a lot of times you can have some sort of twist applied to the chassis. And so the doors may line up great. And then you go and ultimately put the things on its wheels and tires like it's going to sit when it's a car. And all of a sudden things that may have, closed really well or lined up really well, just don't really so much anymore. Anyway, bit of a long-winded explanation, but that's one of the things that the shop like us that goes to finish a car, we always have to sort of deal with getting everything to fit and, doors to close and stuff like that. That the guy that did the paint and body, assuming it wasn't done in our shop, like is the case with this one, that I'm sure that when they sent this thing on its way, they were happy with everything. But yeah, then again, you put it on its own wheels and tires, things shift around a little bit, and so then that's what we do is we come in and we try and get everything to work nicely. And sometimes we got to get out a porta power or have our guy get out his porta power and shove things around. Anyway, that was a bit more long-winded than I intended it to be. But this side, bitching now. While I'm walking past this, I will go ahead and talk about it. So today I did get a very nice window glass for the driver's side, and I swapped out its lift channel there and installed it. And then I installed the inner scrapers on both windows. So now the doors are pretty much complete, other than, obviously the door panels and all that stuff, the vapor barrier, whatever you want to call it, big sheet of plastic that goes on there. Still got to do that stuff, but everything here now is functional and complete. The scrapers are pretty tight, as they always are, so I'll have to go and put some talcum powder on them or maybe silicone spray. The windows roll up and down now, but they're tight, as they always are when you put in new scrapers. Scrapers are very grabby and they like to grip the glass as you're rolling it up and especially as you're rolling it down. But those are in now, so that's a pretty big accomplishment for this one, finishing the door windows out. I have to mention, because somebody asked, so we just keep a window winder in our toolbox that we use when we're building doors. And this is off a split window Beetle. So somebody pointed out the fact that this had an ivory knob on it, and they probably didn't notice that it's a split window lever. But yeah, this lives in our toolbox, and usually when we're building doors out, we grab it out of the toolbox and use it to test windows. So this does not go with this car. That'd be kind of interesting to put split window winders on a late model car, but I'm sure it's been done. But anyway, not for this car. So that's that. So on with the saga here of the fuel injection. So yesterday we seem to have figured out the issue with the timing and stuff on here, and I think I mentioned AJ moved the little studs on the back of the pulley that the magnet picks up. He moved those about 12 degrees. And then I pulled the sensor off today and fiddled with it some more. I wasn't really happy with its alignment, and so I got it lined up really nice and stuff. And then I went and checked the static timing on the computer and actually backed it off a hair from where I had it. So static timing now is at 13 degrees, which should be pretty perfect for this motor. So thing starts up beautifully, runs beautifully, doesn't die when you're coming to an idle anymore, just seems really pretty dialed in. I need to put some more miles on it, more confidence miles, because so far I've only made many like 1.5 mile loops. So time to kind of expand out and put some bigger laps around orange and stuff with this thing. But so far I have no indication that all the gremlins are still there, or all the gremlins are gone. Anyway, so we actually started. So our partner shop that we work with a lot, Leo. He's the guy that did the install on the EV Bug. He's got air conditioning equipment. That's way too modern for us, but this car has air conditioning. And so he went today and hooked up to the AC system and pulled a vacuum and everything so far looks good. So we'll check this in the morning, and if these two vacuum gauges are still sitting where they are now, in other words, there's not a leak somewhere, then we'll go ahead and charge this AC system up and start blowing some cold air with this thing. So that's pretty huge. I think other than that, yeah, I fiddled with that sensor some more, got it where I was happy with it, and took it for a quick little test drive or two. Feels great. Very happy that that's finally behind us. Those two sensors, TPS and crank position sensor, gave me many nightmares and had me putting in some crazy hours, but I think we've got that all sorted out. Let's see what else happened today. Another thing that happened is our guy that did the color sanding on this car that came out so amazing, came and started color sanding the barn door. So yeah, that's the plan for this thing. Is paint job was pretty nice, but I don't know if you'll be able to see on the video, a little bit of orange peel here and there. So we're just gonna have him kind of dial in this paint job. Of course, they always look bad when they've been sanded, but once it's polished, then it's gonna look amazing. So yeah, he's actually starting a little bit here and there to do color sanding on the barn door, so that's gonna look amazing. Trying to think what else happened today. I think that might have been it, guys. So with that, let me stop talking, and I guess I will see you guys again tomorrow. So thanks again, everyone, for watching, and we'll see you again soon. Bye.